Hello and welcome to the last part of the Dressrosa saga and the Dressrosa arc. My name is Pyro and I am just thankful for everybody who's been with me from the start or just joined me somewhere along the journey. And obviously, Merry Christmas. You can see I have decorated the room. I have horns. Barry has a mustache and Calcifer has sunglasses. Everybody's in such Christmassy feeling time, I don't know. So, Dressrosa. We left the last time with the part where everybody got their bounty. Everybody got, or like the bounty from Doflamingo, the star bounty, where the Dark Messiah Absalom got born. And all the other smaller stuff. So because everybody got separated by Pika. Pika separated everybody with his stone assimilation powers, and that's also why we start with Magpies, Senior Pink, Dellinger. They return back to the factory to look for Brook, but Brook is not there anymore. So they basically go their way because they know how much chaos is going on at the moment. So they need to go around different places to see what exactly is going on in Dressrosa at the moment. On the plaza where everybody was positioned by Pika, Moria takes Law and Ryuma basically both under his arms and just jumps down, where he jumps in front of the three officers, Magpies, Senior Pink and Dillinger, but he just dips because those three guys are not worth his time. He has to take care of the big flamingo of the people here. So he also gets confronted by Fujitora for a short time, where Ryuma is trying to clash with Fujitora, but he gets instantly pushed away. Like he's not as strong as Zorro at this point, but he's trying to hold off Fujitora. But at this time, Pika appears. Pika appears and wants to attack those guys again. But Pika talks, and we all know what kind of voice Pika has! So Pika talks, and then we just hear, like, Law is leaving a small spurt, or like, he can't control his laugh, and also Moria is just like, because he's heard stupid voices. His voice is not the most funny, menacing or good voice, but hearing Pika's voice is a bit much. So while that happens, he laughs, and basically Pika sends the people, everybody flying. He sends Law flying, he sends Moria flying, and he sends Ryuma flying. And all of them just go straight to the Colosseum. Pika punches on the ground and everybody gets sent flying. So that's where we get sent to the Colosseum. Then we have some other stuff going on. Every gladiator that got turned back from being a toy is now out for blood. They want to get Doflamingo's head, but because Absalom was there, he's also telling them to like not go for them and leave it to his captain and all the other stuff. So they like reluctantly agree with that. So all these things are going to happen. Pika tries to attack Moria and the other people who are currently like in the group of the gladiators because they got punched over there, and they tell them that to leave Doflamingo to them again. So Pika tries to attack them, but Shinjao and Elisabello shatter the stone arm and just take care of that for a moment. So basically, Law, Moria and Ryuma are rushing back to Doflamingo was, only to get confronted by Pika once again. And this is the time where Moria shows a first new technique. Basically, it's still the Stone Pika, and the Stone Pika with his gigantic arm is trying to attack them, and Moria doesn't have time for that. Moria uses his shadow powers to basically increase the size of the shadow of his fist. And as we all know from the canon version, where he has this Shadow Asgard, where it's based on the Norse mythology, this attack is called Shadow Jotun's Fist, like those gigantic people from Norse mythology. So he uses a gigantic Shadow Fist to smash the Shadow Pika, and that just destroys the head of the stone Pika. When a real Pika appears in front of them, Ryuma stays behind of the people to take care of him. And, well, I know this is Zorro, but Zorro and Ryuma basically look the same, so just think this is Ryuma. Ryuma is there and is going to confront the stone giant, or right now the normal Pika. So Ryuma takes care of them, and Law and Maria are going to continue on their way to Doflamingo. Normally at this point, Law would explain to Luffy about the whole Corazon past and all the other thing, but he doesn't need to tell Maria that. He doesn't feel like he needs to share that with Maria, even if they're in an alliance. It's not like he needs to share the past with all the other stuff there. So basically we wouldn't get that we would get that flashback from Law's head, like what he thinks about, and we just might see some of his inner thoughts, but those things are not things that Maria is going to learn. Now, back on the plaza, on the King's Plateau, we have Absalom, Rebecca, Hex, Sabo, Koala, and Viola. They get there, and Viola tells Rebecca and Leo to get the key that she found somewhere to Law, because the key is for the handcuffs that are still on Law, because Maria was not able to just break them by pure force, because they are Sea Stone. And even if he's powerful, he can't break Sea Stone because he's a Devil Fruit user. So they are going to go out there. Basically, you remember the stuff where they jump down with the yellow kabuto or whatever, like these yellow bug beetles, where they slowly fall. So Rebecca and Leo together jump down there and are going to go there with the key to Law. That's what's going on there. So Sabo is also going to run off because he wants to help the people of Dressrosa. He jumps off with Rebecca and Leo, but he's going to leave them afterwards, telling them, Rebecca, thank you for everything, but I need to take care of some other stuff here. You have a lot of people helping you, but I have something I need to take care of as well. Because he's basically in Luffy's role. Normally, if everything would go like he's Luffy, he would destroy the Flamingo here. But he knows that he's in alliance with Law and Maria here, so he's going to leave it to those two people. They have a bigger agenda with the Flamingo. So at the factory, Brook is returned. The two officers left, but Brook is now there. Brook returned and is preparing a strong attack, his strongest attack to destroy the factory. But before he can attack, Senior Pinks come back. So Senior Pink swims right at him. He swims with his swim through powers at high speed and basically punches Maria with an uppercut to get, get Brook with an uppercut away from the factory and stop him from that. And their fight continues. And with all the fangirls being there, I just assume like something Pink would say would be something like, even if he's just bare bones, he's still hard-boiled. It's such, like this whole hard-boiled thing is so funny. Anyways, we continue, obviously. We rush through all of these things because those are minor things happening here. Sabo continues on, and there he confronts the Marines. He continues against Bastille, Fujitora, the smaller Marines, and all these other people. There's the fight between Sabo and Fujitora, which we don't see much of in the canon version and here as well. We know that he's in a bit of a stalemate, like neither is winning here, so I guess they are about the same level, or one is not taking the other serious maybe. So that's how it's going to progress here. Basically, Sabo is just trying to stop the Marines from interfering with Law and Maria trying to get to Doflamingo. And while we're there, we also get another force. You remember those two guys? They were in the Colosseum, but they lost. The guy with the jacket fruit. It's the Funk Brothers. The Funk Brothers meet Maria and Law, and they want to lead them to a shortcut. A shortcut leading them faster to the castle and where Doflamingo is. But the shortcut is basically leading them into a closed down like sewer thing. So basically they meet the string clone. But Moria doesn't care about that. He lets the string clone talk for a bit, where he thinks like Doflamingo is so arrogant because he thinks like he got them with the string clone that Moria already destroyed. So Moria just cuts through the clone and then the brothers. Well, he doesn't kill the brothers, but he takes the shadows and he says, well, you two thought you were on the right side, but now the era of shadows is going to start. Don't forget that. Kishishishi. So he takes the shadows, just puts them somewhere with him at the moment, and they continue. They just leave those guys there because he doesn't care about them. They are unconscious, he destroyed the clone, and they just punch through the ceiling and go wherever they needed to go. Then we continue further. Further, where Rebecca and Leo, they use the yellow kabuto beetles to jump through the city. At one point, Pika is trying to attack them, like with his stone hand again, but Ryuma cuts it in half to protect them. Like, there's a lot going on. Pika doesn't focus entirely on Ryuma, so he's trying to attack many people at once. He's just trying to stop people from going there where they want to be. But Ryuma is strong enough to take care of them and of those things. So, at this point, Cavendish arrives. Cavendish had picked up Kiros, who was somewhere else, and they are riding together on the horse. Together on the horse, they also pull up Maria and Law, who are then riding together with them, where Kiros is talking a bit of his backstory, where he's Rebecca's father, and he wants to get revenge for some other stuff. So basically, he's going to go where Diamante is, and he sets up the revenge fight against Diamante. So we got Cavendish on his horse with a stylish sword, Durandal, which isn't ranked, but the sword is probably quite strong. But even though he wants to defeat Moria himself to get more famous, not Moria. I mean, he would like to defeat Moria as well because that would make him more famous, and he would like to destroy Law because it's one of the supernova, and he would also like to destroy Doflamingo. But those things need to wait for some other stuff. He needs to follow what the Messiah told him and leave it to some other people. So on the other hand, we have Kinemon, who is reuniting with his old friend Kanjuro, his old and trusted friend Kanjuro, who would never betray him. So those guys get out of the place where Kanjuro was with his drawing abilities, where he draws a net to climb up to the King's Plateau. And all of that is happening. So they are climbing up there, and they return back to where Absalom, the former king Rico Doldo, is, and all these other people are. So the people civilians find the king, and because Absalom has the highest bounty and the king also has a bounty, they just want to capture them. They want to stop the whole Doflamingo stuff in their own way, because Doflamingo said, I will stop the birdcage if you capture the bounties. So they want to capture Absalom and the king. And Kinemon and Kanjuro made their way up there, but to Absalom's horror, Kanjuro obviously had like this net where they climbed up to get to them. So all the civilians climbed up there as well. While all of this is going on, Viola also finds like the location where the Tontata princess Mancheri is kept, and that she's being used to heal all of the Doflamingo people. So she sends that information with one of her Dendemushis to Rebecca and Leo to send them there. Normally Bartolomeo would be here to stop like Gladius, who's there to attack Rebecca and Leo, but he's not here. So there I need to pull some strings and make my own idea how they guys would stop like Gladius. And you might think it's a bit of like not an ass pull or something, it's just not something that would happen in the canon version because he's busy with other stuff. I will put Jesus Burgess there, and Jesus Burgess is going to confront Gladius. He doesn't do that to help Rebecca and Leo in that sense, he just took a liking to the devil fruit of Gladius. Is it the pop fruit? The one where you can explode things? Jesus Burgess took that to a liking. If he can't get the Merameronomy, there might be some other option for him. So he wants to fight against Gladius. This gives Rebecca and Leo the opportunity to continue like onwards to go to Law, to give him the key, and then to rescue the princess. So they proceed over the flower field, where they are going to find Diamante, and Diamante wants to attack them. Diamante rushes at them with his weird devil fruit power that I still don't know what it actually does, because it's just such a weird thing. So he attacks them, but in the second where the strike would have hit Rebecca, the main squad appears, and Kiros blocks the attack with a sword, which obviously leads to Kiros versus Diamante. Rebecca also uses the time where this battle starts to unlock the handcuffs that Law has on him. So basically Law is back, and all of the stuff his powers are back. So with that power regained, he's going to teleport Moria, Rebecca, and Leo and himself inside of the palace, and leaves Kiros alone with Diamanta to take care of him. Leo and Rebecca are going to leave the guys here, and they are just going to continue onwards to go rescue the people, defeat the people who are keeping Manchuries captive. So this leaves the people confronting Sugar. Normally there would be Usopp who would save the people here, but this time, even if it's a child, Moria picked up many children. He picked up what's her name? Perona as a child. He picked up other people as a child, and he has smaller shadow people. So he doesn't underestimate her in that sense. He just snips with his fingers and uses his shadow box his black box to capture Sugar and just continue onwards. She just ignores her in that sense. She's just captured in the black box and can't do much there. While all of this is happening, the mob also catches up with Kinemon and Kanjuro, trying to attack, and Absalom prefers his rocket launchers, thinking he would need to attack the people. But the people reveal to all of them that they are not here to hurt the king or capture Absalom. They just want to apologize. They learned that the king didn't do them wrong. They want to believe that he is just doing whatever is best for them. And so when the king tells them to believe in the other two warlords, namely Law and Maria, to take care of the other warlord, they trust in him. They trust in the king, who they betrayed for so long. Even if they got betrayed by the warlord Doflamingo, they now rely on the other two warlords. This also is going to lead to all of the stuff where Fujitora and Sabo stop fighting because they have better things to do. And because there's no Bellamy on the island, that also says that the Moria and Law and Treble and Doflamingo fight is going to start quicker. It's going to start now. Just imagine instead of Luffy there's Moria here. So how is this fight going to turn out? First of all, Moria laughs at them. Now that we are here, it has come to this. Moria rushes at Law, preparing a powerful attack, much to Doflamingo's surprise, because alliances always end in betrayal, right? But with a quick use of shambles, Law catches their enemies by surprise. He catches them off guard, and he switches his positions with Moria, and basically he uses attack to cut straight through Treble, incapacitating him for some time, and Moria uses a new attack. He enhances the shadow of his sword, of his scissor sword, and uses his Shadow Stein Slave and cuts through Moria, through Doflamingo. Why am I always messing up their names? He cuts through Doflamingo and already sends him flying. But the massive black strike that charges from his sword is not obviously enough to defeat Doflamingo. For now, it's a 2v1 because, as we know, Treble is out of the fight for a moment because he needs to recollect his body and get one mucus boy again. So now we look at different points. We're going through the different battles that are going to happen now. Basically, Treble needs to reattach himself, and even while it's doing that, Moria takes care that Treble doesn't interfere with everything. Doflamingo, now we see the Doflamingo flashback with the whole Celestial Dragon things where his family gets killed, and that also leads in a Law flashback. Law reveals that he's a D, and Moria lets him take the 1 vs 1 for now. He lets him take the fight against Doflamingo, even if he guesses that Law won't be able to deal with that. It just makes sure that Treble won't interfere. So while all of this is happening, we go over to the other fights. We have Hydrodyne versus Magpies. It's a hard fight because Hydrodyne is decently strong. He's a giant after all, and he's not that weak. I don't know what his bounty is, but he's quite strong. So Magpies is still holding up against him with his 10,000 ton press and his whatever ton press. It's hard. I don't know how other people would have handled that, because can Luffy press 10,000 tons in the air? Can Zorro do that? I don't know if they are able to do that. Is Hydrodyne stronger than those guys in strength stance? What's your opinion on that? Just tell me, please. So Hydrodyne uses another Norse attack. That's why Hydrodyne and the giants are actually very fitting for Maria. He uses Gungnir, which is the spear of Odin. So he uses that spear attack basically with his fist to punch Magpies straight into the air and straight into the birdcage, where he gets defeated. So that's the win. Hydrodyne defeats Magpies. On the other side, Sai defeats Lao Ji and Baby 5. There's a bit going on with the whole thing. It's basically like in the canon. I don't need to like explain all of the stuff to you. Sai defeats Lao Ji after a long battle where I think Don Qinzhao lost before that, and Sai defeats him instead of his grandfather or father, I'm not sure. And Baby 5 loses in that sense that she falls in love with Sai and they're going to get married. Now to the next fight. Dellinger, Hakuba or Cavendish is going to look out for a different opponent because he leaves Doflamingo to Maria and Law. So he needs to look for another big fish he can take care of to catch some glory. So who is the strong opponent? He looks around for a while where he finds Dellinger. Dellinger already defeated Idio, the long arm guy from the Colosseum. So he wants to attack him, but he randomly falls asleep like he always does, and Hakuba returns. So Hakuba comes out and instantly defeats Dellinger. On the other side, we also get Burgess, who is going to defeat Gladius at the time, and then needs to confront Hakuba. I want to believe Burgess is the strong, because Burgess is a member of Blackbeard's crew, and he needs to be quite powerful, right? So Burgess defeats not only Gladius, but he also takes care of Hakuba, but he just takes Gladius' body with him, and leaves Hakuba / Cavendish on the ground there, and just leaves the island. He's just going to dip. He got what he wants, so he doesn't need to take care of more. So while he leaves, we go over to Leo and Rebecca, who are infiltrating the castle. They want to go where the Tontata princess is, to where Mancheri is. And Mancheri is being used by Jola, the woman with the modern art fruits, to heal all the people. So to stop that, Rebecca takes care of all the weaker pirates, just keeping them off that so that Leo has an easier time. And like in the canon version, Leo defeats Jola easily. All these people are here. They are here because like time sense, the fights of Magpies, Dellinger, Sugar, Laoji, and all the other people, they happened earlier. And they all got brought here already by Doflamingo goons. So Leo needs to take care of them. But now we come to one of the most serious fights. Brook and Senior Pink. Brook and Senior Pink are fighting against each other. They are fighting still at the factory. It's a hard fight. They don't block each other's attacks, they just exchange blow after blow because a real man takes their blow. And with each blow, one of them shares a sentence of their past with each other, where they make a bond, they've built a relationship with each other. And Pink tries to finish off Brook with his strongest attack. He grapples Brook and swims up a very high tower and then suplexes him to the ground. On this crash down, they crash on the ground, and a bit of Brook's skull, his skull shatters a bit, but he stands up. He laughs. Yo-ho-ho-ho-ho. He slowly moves his hand through the crack and is like, a fine memory you left me with, but this needs to end now. A demonic energy envelops Brook and his sword. His sword slowly turns black, enveloping it with Haki, or like his demonic energy, and Brook calls out his attack. Satan's Tremolo. An insanely fast flurry of like thrust attacks that he uses with his sword finishes off Senior Pink. So Senior Pink is on the ground. Senior Pink is on the ground, and not Doflamingo. He's not Doflamingo, he's Brook. Brook looks at him and is like, he just sends the Tontatas there to destroy the factory, while he slowly sits down next to the defeated Senior Pink and looks at him and says, the next time we meet, tell me more about your family. And that's the end for their fight. So we go over to the next fight, where Kiros and Diamanta are fighting. We know that Kiros is winning this fight. It will be a bit bloodier for him because Robin is not there to block some of his Diamanta's attacks on Kiros. So he's going to be quite bloody there. I don't want to say that he loses a limb or anything, but he's going to be hurt, quite hurt. But he wins in the same way. He attacks Diamante and makes him fall backwards, where he heads hits his head on the gravestone of of Kiros' wife, Scarlet, and that knocks him out. Now we come to one of the last fights there. We have Zorro defeating Pika, or in this sense, Ryuma defeating Pika. I'm messing up so many names. So Ryuma is fighting against him. It seems that Ryuma is taking care of him, that he's not having that much of a hard fight, because Pika is always distracted by different people running around and wants to take care of them. So Ryuma is cutting at him. So just like Zorro did, he uses the help from Olympus and Elisabello to win. He has Olympus throw him up to where Pika is placed at the moment. Pika is enveloped in his full body haki. So Ryuma focuses on his attack. He sheaths back his Shusui back into his sheath and starts focusing. Everything around him seems to move slower. He looks at Pika, he looks at the other people, and he just seems to be able to tell where Pika's real body is inside of this stone haki giant. So he sees him there, and he makes a single, very fast attack by pulling out his sword insanely fast. Combining the shadow powers he got from Kinemon with the Foxfire style, and combining the memories he still has of his body as Ryuma, he makes an attack. Flame Split, Divine Dragon. He pulls out his sword with an insanely speed and cuts straight through the stone giant, defeating Pika and cutting him in half. Which most likely will leave him dead, but we don't need to talk about that. It's just a dead person, right? He just leaves him dead. So we have that person done. Now we return back. With Pika defeated, we all come back to Law being defeated. Bellamy's not there to occupy Luffy, or in this way Maria, so Maria just watches until Law is defeated. Law is defeated, and basically Maria wants to fight against Law, or kill Law, but Maria doesn't like that. He just throws Law over his shoulder and says like, "What genius plan do you have now, Surgeon of Death?" Pretty much the same plan as in canon. Maria rushes at Doflamingo with another attack. He wants to attack Doflamingo very hard, but during that time, Law shambles his position with Maria's position and uses his Gamma Knife. His Gamma Knife is his strongest attack, as you remember. So I think that was a bit of an ass pull on Oda's way, because this thing destroyed the internal organs, all of many organs of Doflamingo. But Doflamingo just repaired himself with his string powers. He was literally, if your heart is shattered, if your lungs are shattered, and the other organs are shattered, you can't just repair yourself with your strings. He should have been dead. But obviously we're just going with the whole thing that he's not dead. And because that was Law's final attack, Law is exhausted on the ground for now. Law is exhausted on the ground, and Doflamingo slowly repairs himself. Trouble is going to get up, but Maria is holding him off for a moment to get Law deal with all of stuff. Despite of the fatal injuries that Doflamingo had, he just rebuilds himself, and Law collapses on the ground for a bit. Basically, Law is very exhausted and he can't take care of much. So Law is there on the ground while Maria takes over. And Maria just says it's time for the grown-ups to fight now. So we have the Haki clash. Maria and Doflamingo's Hakis are clashing. The two original warlords clash and thunder sparks get generated. And now Maria comes with a monologue. Maria comes with his monologue while they are clashing. "Back when I was lost against Kaido, I lost all of my willpower, all of my ambition. But this little runt there," he points at Law, "this boy has a dream, and who am I if I let a child beat me? Doflamingo, don't underestimate the era of the Shadow Emperor." So this is also the time when Maria gets rid of his deformed body, because I bamboozled you the whole time. You all know skinny Maria, right? How he looked like when he was fighting against Kaido. Back in not Water 7, the arc where Punk Hazard, back in Punk Hazard, I told you that when Law was trying to stab with his sword through Maria's body, he noticed that it felt weird. And that was because Moria deformed his own body with his shadow powers to appear like he didn't change, but Moria changed. Moria changes back into his normal shape that he has now, and this is what our new Moria looks like. We have the whole fat that he had got returned back into muscle. He grows a bit in size, his shoulder widens, and he's much more menacing. He grows in size, and this boy is looking much stronger than the fat version of Moria, and much more than the skinny version he had in the past. So, what is this new version of the Moria, the Shadow Emperor, going to do? Well, Treble tries to interfere in Moria's fight, but while all of this is happening, Treble gets defeated by Law. Law is exhausted, and Treble is also exhausted. So basically, Law uses his attack, I think it was Takt Sterben, and he defeats Treble with that. All of that is going to happen. But now we come to the Nightmare. To the Nightmare Luffy. We all know Nightmare Luffy. Nightmare Luffy was the thing where Luffy took... How many shadows was it in again? Was it 100? I'm not so sure. But anyways, Law defeats Treble. And during a time where shadows are slowly entering the body of Moria, he picks up Law and throws him away. During the time where he wants to pick up Law, Treble is going to make an insane explosion. And this insane explosion where Moria rushes to Law to save him actually and throw him away from the explosion gives Moria some PTSD in that sense, because he remembers the time where there were people like King, Queen and all the other people who attacked Moria's people and killed Moria's people one by one. And he gets a... Maybe in that sense, if this was animated, we would get a flashback where Moria shows us more with the fight against Kaido, where we see more of his past here. But he throws him away, and Doflamingo taunts him a bit. Doflamingo says, "So what if you lost your fat? You're still one of the weakest warlords." But then Moria laughs. "That's what you think." And then he uses his new form, like Nightmare Luffy that I have open here right now. He uses Hyaki Yakyo. You can Google that. It's Hyaki Yakyo. It's the name of the episode. It's the 100 Demon Parade or something like that. So Moria grows even more in size, and a menacing dark energy flows in, like out of him. His normally white body turns into a more bluish sense, like the Nightmare Luffy we know, and he's just like, this will be enough to defeat a fallen dragon. So a furious exchange of blows between all of them. I just leave the picture of Moria here. A furious exchange of blows between the warlords ensues. So Doflamingo is a bit on the weaker side here, because Doflamingo can't handle the actual power that Moria has. Even in his base form, he would be quite fast. But now with the 100 shadows that he has saved on himself in like a canister that he carries around with him, I guess, he is even faster and even stronger. The scissors attacks, even unnamed regular swing of the attack, sends Doflamingo flying through multiple buildings. Just straight through a building. Crash, 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 crash. And the strings, even enhanced with Haki, get naturally countered by the Moria Scissor Sword, because scissors just cut through string. So if the Haki strings of Moria are hard, the Haki scissors of Doflamingo are even better. So after another blow of 100 Demon Jotun's Fist, which is basically the same attack as he did against Pika earlier, but like upgraded because he now has 100 shadows in him, or as he calls it, 100 demons, Moria creates a massive fist, even bigger than before, and punches Doflamingo against the mountain which Pika created earlier. It seems like Moria defeated Doflamingo. For a quick moment he releases his Hyaki Yakyo, assuming that he basically already won. He looks around the destroyed Dressrosa, thinking all the people that maybe lost their life or lost other people dear to them. So he thinks about that. King Riku encourages the people of the kingdom to trust in Moria, and that he will save them all soon. And the Shadow Emperor looks around, and with his observation Haki and just what he can see with his eyes from his height, he can see people cheering on him. Cheers of relief, cheers of encouragement, cheers of praise, and he's just laughing to himself. This is a new experience, but these screams are befitting for the next king of the pirates. He's proud of himself. Even though that was not his plan, he always just wanted to defeat Doflamingo together with Law. But if the people rescued here actually praise him and are like, they are thinking he's a savior, that's a nice feeling. Something that he never felt before. So while all of this is happening, the celebration came a bit too early. It didn't take long for Maria to notice that the birdcage didn't disappear. At first he just thought that maybe that was how Doflamingo's Devil Fruit power worked, because every Devil Fruit works a bit different. So he was thinking like maybe the strings would just disappear after some time, or they would just stay, but they can be easily removed. But no, they didn't get removed because Doflamingo was still conscious, was just playing. So Doflamingo uses his strongest attack, I think it was his strongest attack, his God Thread. He attacks Maria's back. He attacks the God Thread that shoots straight at Maria's back. And, well, what can he do there? He gets attacked in the back, but his back is hard. It's not like he gets pierced straight through. He starts bleeding from that, and he also gets crashed through buildings, like boom, boom, boom. And then he hits the ground next to some civilians, where they look in shock because the person who they were thinking would save them is now lying on the ground there, hurt. And what is going to happen? But Maria just stands up again. He doesn't care that. And he basically provokes Doflamingo even more. Attacking a warrior from the back, befitting of a celestial snake. And then we go to another point. Absalom, Kinemon, Kanjuro, Ryuma, and Fujitora, and all of the gladiators who already have finished the fights, are trying to block the birdcage now by force. They use their swords, the powers, or whatever to try to block it. Brooke, who arrived there, is telling Hydrodyne, who is already hurt but he's still a giant, has strong power, to use the factory, which is made out of sea stone, to push the birdcage and protect the people with it. So they use that. So everybody is trying to do their best to, like, keep the birdcage from enclosing the people and killing them all. Moria returns back to Doflamingo. He walks back to him. And then he starts talking to him again. I used my Yaki Yako out of respect for a fellow warlords. However, you seem to have no honor. So let's just finish this. Moria surrounds his two silver plates with Haki. While he does so, Doflamingo shoots another God Thread at him. But Moria, with his strong Haki, he emanates thunder from his scissors. And he just cuts straight through the attack. He rushes through the air to go to the Doflamingo who is flying there with his strings. He basically uses Geppo, I guess, and rushes through the air, and his sword basically goes straight through the string until he reaches Doflamingo. He reaches Mingo, and the sword cuts Doflamingo. This is the end of your reign, Don Quixote. And he uses another attack. Hard Cutter. He doesn't kill Doflamingo. He cuts basically at the upper chest area of the person where the heart would be, but it's basically just pushes Doflamingo, and then when he's in the air, he pushes Doflamingo with his sword down to the ground and smashes in the ground, so that they crash through the ground, they destroy the ground, go to the underground factory, and that's where the whole stuff happens, where Doflamingo is there now unconscious, the birdcage is slowly disappearing, and Doflamingo's glasses get destroyed. So they won. Moria sliced through everything, knocking him unconscious and saving Dressrosa. Screams of joy, tears of relief, and all kinds of emotions flow around Dressrosa. The people scream for their savior, Moria, for the Messiah, Absalom, for all the people who saved them. But nobody's obviously thankful for the people from the Marines that were there, because they didn't do that much. So we go to the next point. We all know Fujitora apologizes to the king here and says sorry that we couldn't do anything, and we actually helped Doflamingo with some of the stuff here. And that whole information with Dressrosa and Fujitora apologizing comes to the five elders and Akainu, and we see their reaction. But most of the stuff is like in the canon, so I'm not going to go into much further detail here. We see Kids and his allies' reaction. We see Sabo leaving the island, returning back to the revolutionary base. We see Hawkback arriving at Zoe. We see Kaido falling on Kid, Apu, and Hawkins and confronting them. we also see that the pirates this time are leaving faster. They all leave faster, and this is also the time where the Thriller Bark fleet gets born. And Maria, just how it is, because Bartolomeo is not here, he travels with Hydrodyne on his ship to Zo. That's who's going to travel with them to Zo for this point. They're going with Hydrodyne. So they all form the fleet. They all say they want to follow Absalom, they want to follow Maria, and that's where that's going to be. Fujitora is still not going to attack them, and Suru and I think it was Sengoku are going to arrive on that island to get Doflamingo. Doflamingo is still alive, but when they arrive at Doflamingo, they see him still unconscious on the ground or like captured there because they just used the sea stone handcuffs that they had on Law and put them on Doflamingo and left them to rot there to so that the Marines could get him. But this Doflamingo doesn't have a shadow anymore, because Maria was thinking like, why not just take his shadow with me? I already defeated him. His shadow is worth more than just his zombie body, I guess. So he took that with him. And this is basically the end of the Dressrosa saga and Dressrosa arc. Next time, we're going to enter the Yonko saga, the Four Emperors saga. But before we're going to enter there, we're going to have new bounties. The people who are here at Dressrosa, namely Maria, Law, Absalom, Brook, and Ruma, are going to get new bounties. Maria's bounty was, I think, 320 million when it was frozen. So it gets increased to 510,690,000 berries. Why this number? I don't know. Maybe you know. If you have any idea why I chose this number, please tell me. Maybe if not, I can tell you in some other video in the future. Law's bounty gets increased to 500 million, same as in the canon version. Absalom's bounty gets increased to, or I don't even know if Absalom had a bounty before, but Absalom's bounty gets increased to 260,444,000. Yes, 266,444,000. Brook's bounty in the actual Dressrosa arc got increased from 33 million to 88 million, I think. And here he will get increased to 100,666,000. And Ryuma, who is just a zombie, but he will still get a bounty because he's acting as someone, a pirate, and he did stuff here. So Ryuma's bounty will be 60,610,000. So those are the bounties of the people here. Hockback didn't get a bounty, Perona didn't get a bounty, and the other pirates that were there, like Hydrodyne, Cavendish, Idio, Blue Gilly, all these people who are traveling now as the Flabark fleet, they don't get a new bounty. But those are the major bounty increases that we have now. And next time we will look at Zo. I hope you all had a very nice Christmas, because Christmas time is already over. And the next time we will see each other will be in 2022. So I hope you will have a nice New Year's party if you have anything like that, or just relax here. One Piece is on a break, so we're not going to experience anything of One Piece again this year after this video here. So I hope you have a great time, and until we see each other again. See ya!